After attending Walsh University and Trinity College Dublin to get my 2 marketing degrees, I ended up starting my own marketing agency called Twilful. Let me tell you, starting your own business is one crazy adventure. I've learned a lot during my journey and now enjoy sharing my experiences with aspiring entrepreneurs and marketers. My first alma mater, Walsh University, brought me back to speak on a panel of entrepreneurs and freelancers talking about the gig economy. Going out and doing your own thing is becoming more popular, so my university wanted to educate their students on that career path possibility. Here are my contributions to the panel discussion. The first question was, what is the best part of the freelancing economy? Best part about doing your own thing is setting your own schedule 100%. You get to come to events like this. You can stop working if you want to stop working. If there is a baseball game going on that you absolutely want to attend, you can just say, all right, well, I've worked enough. I can go do that if I need to do that. Being able to have such a flexible schedule is the best part for me because I put my hands on a lot of different things. I do a videography business on the side for weddings. I host my own podcast, so I like to be able to mix and mingle all that kind of stuff. The worst part is hunting down clients, especially when you're just starting out. So it's like when you're looking for a relationship. You know you want to have a significant other at some point in your life, and unless you are just the most attractive person in the entire world, people are not just going to flock to you and say, hello, start a relationship with me. Would be really nice, but you have to go out, you have to work hard, and you got to go find that significant other that you're looking for. You have to go on dates, you have to buy them cute things, you have to say smooth lines. And that's the same thing on finding clients as well. You have to go out and try to form those relationships, find people that are interested, and then make the pitch and build that relationship enough to show them that, hey, I can provide you value, and then they want to actually have a relationship with you. And it is difficult, but the chase can be fun at the same time. It's just a process for sure. The next question came from a student in the audience. What is your personal life like when running your own business? I think I mold my personal life and my work life together. I'm obsessed with marketing. Like I have a marketing podcast. I do video stuff on the side as well as having this marketing company too. So the way that it is not structured is they just flow together kind of seamlessly. So if I am going to go out and have lunch with a friend, I'll just kind of stop what I'm doing, make sure that I'm structured on both ends of where I need to be. As long as I know I can get my stuff done, I just kind of interweave the personal life how I want it to. And if I know that I want to go out for a week with my girlfriend on a vacation, I can kind of structure it that way where I can maybe get some work done while we're there. I can just snag my laptop, get some marketing things done. But the cool part about really having your own gig and your own business is that you can structure your personal life however you want to. If you want to have more personal and less income, you can structure it that way. If you want to work super intently, bring on a bunch of clients, and then maybe reap that reward and then spend a little time after you've already secured clients, you can do that. So really, yeah, it's kind of up to you how you want to do it, which is cool. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Cool. The following question came from the moderator and continued to focus on the personal side of entrepreneurship. She asked, what are your personal strengths that make this type of work a good fit for you? I've trained 5 years to do what I'm doing right now. I have my undergrad degree from Walsh University in marketing, and then I went over to Ireland and got a master's degree in marketing. So skill-wise, I built myself up to be able to handle this type of work, create marketing strategies, manage social media campaigns, develop those types of things. Personality-wise, I'm more of an extrovert, so I like speaking, I like going out, talking to clients, telling people about my company, and I think that helps as well because if you are starting your own thing, like I said, kind of about the relationship building piece, you are the one that's going to be the face of your company. You have to go out, get interest, build your client base. So even if you're not an extrovert fully, you still have to have some of those skills of going out, building those relationships and showing people you can provide value and then come back and actually provide that value for them. I am in the millennial categorization, and I probably am a pretty clear definition of a millennial. I like bounce around, having my hands in a bunch of different activities and projects, building my own schedule, and not really following the rules of how everybody said it's supposed to go. Like you're supposed to go to college, you get a job, you live your life, you retire, it's all fine and dandy. I like taking on more risk and going out and doing my own thing. And personally, if you ever are thinking about doing your own thing or following that type of a strategy or life plan, you do need to sit down and think if your personality is built for that, if you're ready to put in the effort that it takes. But if you are dedicated on making this happen for yourself, I believe anybody can do it. Another question was, what tools and social media do you use? Being a creative and social marketer, I utilize social media like it's my day job. Well, really, it is my day job. You'll hear about that in my response. Yeah, I am obsessed with social media. I have been in college. I have business cards that I put social media all over them, and I have business cards for all of you guys. So if you guys ever have questions going through this process, going through Walsh, anything, you can hit me up. All of my social media is obviously on there. But I utilize social media a lot for my own personal brand, which I build all the time. That's where my podcast is through. I post a lot of videos. I vlog. I do a bunch of crazy stuff. And social media is how I build my audience and build my followers and push out all of that content and all that stuff I'm building just personally. And that's how I shifted over into a business as well. So I took the skills and the audience that I built from that and am now building up my audience on social media with my marketing firm. So the way that kind of works is I utilize a set number of social media platforms, because if you utilize them all right away, trying to do it all at once, it's so difficult. I don't recommend clients to do that either who are starting off on social media, because there's so much that you can put into it. Now, what I do is kind of the big three: Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And with that, you have to know that each audience and each platform is going to have a different audience. So you're going to have to tailor your content for each audience, but I'll keep this one simple. The way that we utilize social media at Twilful is using it to push out value and information and content to people that are going to be potentially interested in the services that we have to offer. So as an example, we help companies manage social media. We can take it off their plate fully, manage all of the content that's created, the responses, the messages, so they don't even have to deal with it. And with that, we'll create blog posts, do some type of social media content creation strategy internally, and publish all of that stuff out there to show businesses and say, hey, we can help you save a lot of time. We'll be managing your social media. You won't even have to deal with it. Sign on with us, become a client, get more information. So we use it as a hook. We basically cast out the line on social media, put some value on the end of that hook, get some interested, and then help reel them in with that valuable content, and along the way, provide other resources and information that they need to know to become a full client of ours. So we definitely use the social media as a hook to bring in clients with valuable content. A question that every entrepreneur needs to think about is, how do you handle the regulations, taxes, etc. of running your own company? I've started a couple different businesses in my time. My first one was actually at Walsh. I started a used tie company. So I sourced a bunch of used ties from like Goodwill and auctions and all that kind of stuff, cleaned them up, and then sold them online. That was like my test company, and kind of helped do that while I was starting the garage here. And it was fun, exciting, it was interesting, but that is relevant because I did every single thing for that. I set up the business legally. I managed all of the taxes, all of the money that came in, the finances, everything. And that kind of helped me understand the experience. So now I still continue to manage everything. I set up the company. I handled all the legal aspects of it. I still do the accounting and the finances. The one piece, though, I guess it's good. I actually have to file taxes now because I'm officially making money, which is great. But I am trying to do that myself. I'm also looking into having a tax preparer do that for me. So that is the one piece where taxes get quite detailed and interesting. But at the beginning of everything, you can sit down and you go through the process and see if this is something that you want to spend time on, building that company, making sure the legal stuff is good to go, accounting and all of that kind of jazz. And then making the decision, do you want to spend your time on that, or do you prefer to spend your time actually building the company, doing the stuff that's going to generate more money for you? So that's kind of how I looked at it. I sat down and said, is it worth it for my time to do that, to build a company and manage that stuff, or would I rather be going out with clients? Since I have the experience with Retie, the company I built at Walsh, I can kind of streamline it and I know what to do. So that's how I kind of look at it now. Starting out, it can be difficult to figure out what prices to charge. This question was, how do you determine your rates for the services you offer? My process was interesting because I had no idea what the heck to charge. I never worked in an agency that was doing the same thing that I was doing, and this was the first time that I was saying, okay, I'm going to do this for you, and you pay me X amount of money. The way that I went about it was first just randomly ballparking it and thinking, okay, this is what I should charge people, and then comparing it to competitors that are in my industry. So looking at somebody that's doing something similar and saying, okay, you charge that, I'm going to charge something in that range. And the sneaky way to do that too was the first thing I did with my video services. A lot of these people that do something similar don't have it just listed on their website, which is lame. And I emailed and said, hey, I'm interested in some video work. It would look like this, this, and this. And they're like, oh, sweet, this is cool. This is what it would look like. And I'm like, all right, thanks. Maybe talk to you later. So I got their pricing just by kind of being a little sneaky and saying, hey, I'd like to know what your pricing is as a customer standpoint. Did that first. Then I ended up working with that smaller marketing company and got some experience from them, figured out how they did their processing, and they did it hourly. So saying, we're going to do all of these things for you, and you're going to pay us a retainer of $50 an hour, for example. So for every hour that we work on their projects, they're paying us $50, and that retainer could be something for an example of 30 hours a month. So every month we'll do 30 hours, and of those 30 hours, they're going to pay us $50 per hour. That was the model that we're doing, and now we're shifting more toward a package option of where we'll manage all of your social media, we'll create content, you pay us $1,000 a month. And that's kind of how we evolved our pricing strategy over time, and that's what we're looking to shift to now. But it kind of just depends on what type of work you do and what it looks like in your industry, what they're charging, and then just it helps to do research.
A follow-up question was asked, did you ever get a reaction from a client about your prices being too high or too low?
Yes, on both ends of the spectrum, actually. We were doing some social media work for one of the companies, and this was one of the first clients that we actually brought on, and we got everything established of what we wanted to do for them and what they wanted us to do for them. And we're like, oh, okay, shoot, what should we charge them? We don't really know. And we're like, okay, we'll do all of this per month, $1,200. They're like, all right, great, that sounds awesome. They're like, what the heck? That's absurd. They're going to pay us $1,200 for 3 months, so that's $3,600, right? Okay, good. They're going to pay us that much. Yeah. So they're going to pay us that much for 3 months. That was just appalling to us because we didn't really have any way of kind of quantifying that and making that right. Then the flip side of things, we had another client where we were making a proposal and we said something like a higher number that we really didn't know either, and the client was like, oh wow, okay, that's much higher than we thought it was going to be. We're going to go look somewhere else. So it totally deterred the client. So that's a good question, and it's good to have that research and at least look in the industry of competitive prices so you don't throw out a number like that and it scares away the client. So just, having that research done prior and knowing the ballpark it's going to be good for you.
One of the other panelists talked about making sure to not undervalue yourself. That's a great point, and I wanted to reiterate that.
But I think that's a huge point too. Don't undervalue yourself, because what you do and the value that you provide is great, and they want that. So we actually had a client one time. We did a video project, $250. We produced this 60-second promo video for him, and it was great. It was fun, good relationship, awesome client. Still have him on as a client today, but they ended up telling us after that they would have paid us $1,000.
Doesn't that kill you when they do something?
Yeah, $1,000 compared to $250, just because that's the normal industry standard, and that's actually a little bit below of what other companies would charge. So, like I said, research is big, but don't undervalue yourself and your skills too. That's a really good point.
Continuing on, the moderator asked, do you think there will be more freelancers in your industry in the next 5 to 10 years?
I would say yes. In the marketing sphere, which is massive as a whole, there are a lot of contractors out there that already will go to companies and perform a certain marketing task for them just because they don't want to do it. And it prevents companies from paying them a lot of money, from offering them benefits and all that kind of stuff. So I think in the marketing sphere as a whole, the gig economy will increase, and that even includes when social media is getting even more and more important and other technologies like that evolve and more companies bring it on. Some of those companies aren't going to understand it or want to deal with it, so they're going to hire either outside agencies, outside contractors, or even potentially bring on interns as well to manage those types of things. So I think it will be growing, yes.
After an awesome discussion, the final question was, what do you do about benefits, health insurance, and those types of things?
I'm going to give you a cheating answer and a real answer. I am under the age of 27, so I'm still on my parents' insurance, which is pretty great. And I would recommend staying on that as long as possible if you can. So that's really nice. The real answer is what I'm starting to shift into is you kind of go out and find different things that work for your scenarios. The benefit about the gig economy
becoming more prominent in society is there are insurance companies and all that kind of stuff that are understanding there's a need there, and they're providing valuable ways to get insurance even if you are like an entrepreneur and doing your own thing. One example of that is there's car insurance out there that will charge you per mile driven. So for example, if you have a digital company and you're working from your house, you don't need to travel all that much, your insurance will be super cheap because they're charging you per mile. So if you don't drive a lot, your insurance is going to be a lot lower. So that's one thing that I've been looking into, just because I work from a set location and I can do most of my work digitally. That's one example of how insurance, there are other medical ones out there that do similar type of things. So millennial-esque insurance policies, they have those and they're becoming more prominent too. So you can always look into them and find them that way, if you're not on your parents anymore.
Well, that's all, folks. Huge thank you to Walsh University and the DeVille School of Business for bringing me back to campus to speak on my entrepreneurial marketing journey. Always a pleasure, and go Cavs.